Before we start, I want to take the opportunity to thank Cringy Crafts for making this, which is based on this, which is actually derived from this. Yes, very happy with it. It arrived today. Link to that Etsy store down below along with Charlie's YouTube channel. Also, there's a video on Moisky Live, I'm streaming on Twitch later, and there's a PMQ stream too. All of it in the description down below. So I guess now I really should address the, I think I'm calling it the Pabst Blue Ribbon virus today. Yes, the Pabst Blue Ribbon virus. Because it's starting to now reach my town. Something which is a week later than anticipated, but oh well. It's quite amusing watching shops, supermarkets no less, limit the number of people going into their store, even if they're quite large, so that older people get preference, which I can respect and understand, leaving young people and younger people saying, but I need food in it. How am I going to get my munch in it? Can you sort a brother out in it? You all might think I'm joking when I said it like that, but no, turns out my town is not as sophisticated as I thought, and it is in fact riddled with chavs. They appear to have changed their clothing. No longer are they wearing the Burberry, and now they're just wearing Nike Air Maxes. And very little else. Classy. So supermarkets are limiting the sales as a direct response to the panic buying that has taken place. I will say now, panic buying is utterly redundant. It is stupid. If you're going to fill your house with loo roll because, and I'll quote myself last week, "Oh, I'm gonna shit myself," then perhaps you want to consider the fire hazard you are now creating in your property. Didn't think it through, did you, fellas? Or ladies? I don't want to assume anyone's gender, I'm just going to use fellas as a generic term from now on. Same with the hand sanitizer. If you're a genius that thinks, oh, if I buy all the hand sanitizer, at least I'm clean, you haven't really thought ahead, have you, with the precautions? You see, the best way for a community to truly make sure that the community is safe is if the community works together. If you go out of your way to hoard all of the sanitizing and hygiene products, only you are clean, but that does mean the virus has a potential to get worse in your area, meaning eventually you will not be safe. One must always look out not only for themselves, but those around them. Something which my sisters are trying to teach their daughters of varying ages to varying levels of success. Hopefully they'll get the hint, but children, of course, as we know, are not as high a risk as those, let's say, who are more susceptible to, for example, pneumonia. And of course those who are significantly older than myself. However, all people should take all the precautions they can, whether it be to build up their immune system, either by eating healthier foods, what food is available anyway, or by simply buying multivitamins, supplements, everything they can to boost and bolster themselves to ensure the very best version of them can endure. I should now say, for the sake of it, I personally am not too bothered about this virus. Of course, it is a concern for the whole world, and I've already said if you want to assign blame, go ahead and blame those that hid it from the world for many, many months before bothering to tell everyone else, which of course is like giving them a handicap. But as it is commonly known, I don't particularly care for assigning blame. What I care about is finding a solution. Blame helps nobody. It doesn't alleviate the stress, it does not alleviate the concern, it just makes people angrier. So instead of blaming China, instead, why don't you go out of your way to find a cure? I hear there are drug trials already taking place for the Pabst Blue Ribbon virus. Pounce on it, please. But back to the panic buying in shops. Shops like Asda and Sainsbury's, and I have a Sainsbury's in my town, have already started limiting the number of things you can buy, and by that I mean the number of the same item that you can buy to about 3. Which then makes it easier for them to restack their shelves, because some shops have had to change their opening times so that they can then have regular 8-hour days and then spend the remainder of that day refilling the shop if the stock is available. And there is a concern here that many hadn't considered as well. If people continue to panic buy because irrational and not understanding of situation, when the virus is finally, eventually and inevitably defeated, this isn't Plague Inc. here. The last of humanity is not going to watch us end, our history terminated, something which I learnt last night on Twitch, link below. What will then happen is that once that happens, the shops will overstock, because people will have run out of money anyway, and they'll be stuck with, let's say, written off produce. The only things I think that might survive would be the corned beef, and I genuinely think, with no level of irony, toilet paper, which would amuse me to no end. Although I should say my local corner shop has not yet had any issues when it comes to stock because he has a track record of overstocking. So he has far too much in the 2 shops near me. We're okay. And in truth, I kind of buy my snacks from Grays, and my meals are covered because I'm not so stupid as to buy in bulk. I buy enough to get by because I kind of care that other people have the ability to eat as well. The only issue I take is that my normal cereal is Weetabix protein, and some bugger literally grabbed the entire box as I went down the cereal aisle of Sainsbury's yesterday, which had about, I think, 10 packs in. And my response to him was, after he'd walked out of the store with that and a lot of loo roll, to trip the prick over. I guess I can't complain in hindsight. I still got muesli. Muesli's a win, isn't it? I like muesli. Yes. Nothing wrong with muesli. And I will say it was semi-amusing to watch a lot of very old people on mobility scooters and Zimmer frames and walking around generally, confused as to what they could digest, when the only aisles that had any food on were alcohol and frozen. All the cereal was gone, most of the tins were gone, most of the tea was gone, none of the coffee though. And I honestly have never seen people panic so much over this, because the UK may well enter a lockdown on Friday, which would heavily restrict, what people can and cannot do. Now, for entirely selfish reasons, I don't care about any of this, I just want to work, because I like working. And I've already got one of my contracts suspended, because it's a pub. But I will know for sure on Friday if that contract is suspended indefinitely. The pub in question have said they're not going to, though, more than likely because they can't afford it and also because the insurance won't pay out for it. Which is understandable. It truly is. And I hope that people are able to continue working because I'm low enough income that this actually hurts me. I can't claim that little allowance, I believe. And I don't want to rely on YouTube as my source of income as a job because I like my IRL job. I love doing this though, I should say. I love talking to you. I love delving into news stories and trying to give an opinion that is honest and factual at best, along with the occasional video slamming people who absolutely deserved it. Like Gabriel. Anyway, this all is quite a lot that's going on. It is unnerving for a lot. Many, the majority in fact. Information being circulated by MSM is not useful and the government's response to this was slow. Many want to point and get angry and blame. I would recommend and urge people don't. Focus on health first. It is advice I give to you because it is one of the very few times I'm going to address the Pabst Blue Ribbon virus. In truth, my interest on this subject is quite limited. I should now say, there is an exhibition of stupid people for tomorrow, a Halls of Injustice for Friday, and I'm going to be starting a new series on this channel very soon, with this avatar. I might move it to the shuttle pod that you saw at the end of yesterday's video. I'm hoping to start that soon anyway. It's going to be a retake, a rehash, a remodeling of a friend of mine who used to do a series on Tumblr called This Week on, or in Tumblr, at Tumblr. Acronym TWAT. I might do the same acronym, but Twitter. If you like the idea, by the way, do let me know, because there's so much stupid on Twitter, and I think it's right we summarily mock it outside of the exhibition of stupid people. I do apologise, by the way, for those who expected something more current news, I guess, away from the Pabst Blue Ribbon virus, but in truth, I have to address this at least once. I really do. It's the right thing to do, and I also get to air my opinion and how it's impacted my life, because I'm a selfish person, okay, and I want attention. Anyway, I'm streaming on Twitch, as I said earlier, and doing a PMQ stream if I don't see you on either of those tonight. I hope you'll have a fantastic Wednesday, and thank you all for listening.